Have you ever heard anyone say, "I'm not a math person"? Have you ever said these words yourself? If so, you're definitely not alone. Meet Billy. Billy is working toward a degree in the sciences, but first he has to learn calculus. And it's hard. He thinks, "I'm never going to understand this." Sometimes he has questions, but he doesn't ask because he's afraid Kylie and Anna won't think he's smart. Anna always knows the right answer in class, and Kylie gets the best grades on all the quizzes and exams. He reminds himself that he is smart. He's just not a math person. And besides, there's over 1 million things he could do with his life. At this moment, Billy is demonstrating what psychologists call a fixed mindset, the belief that intelligence is defined at birth. In Billy's mind, his math abilities are constant, like his height or his hair color. Because he believes that his intelligence is unchanging, he doesn't see the incentive or payoff to struggle through a topic that he sees as a wall that he can't climb. But what about Kylie and Anna? Despite Billy's perception, neither Kylie nor Anna view themselves as math people. To them, math people are those for whom math comes easily. What Billy doesn't know is that Anna always reads the book before class, and Kylie goes to office hours and tutoring and often does the homework twice. They know from experience that math is confusing at times, but if they practice smart strategies and get help from others, it's never beyond their grasp. Kylie and Anna have what psychologists call a growth mindset, the belief that you can grow your intelligence. They see their brains as more like muscles and believe that with enough exercise, their abilities can grow and improve. Similarly, they see math as a skill, like riding a bike or learning to paint. With enough practice, math, like any skill, is something they can eventually be good at. Like Billy, Kylie and Anna's belief about intelligence or mindsets are directly reflected in their behavior. Unlike Billy, however, they see challenges as obstacles to overcome. Their belief in their own abilities facilitate the actions they take to achieve success. In this way, mindsets can sort of become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you can reach your goal, then you do the things you would do to achieve that. If you don't believe in your ability, you're less likely to do those things. The terms growth and fixed mindset were coined to describe people's inherent theories of intelligence and the behaviors that result from holding those mindsets. But having a growth mindset is more than just positive thinking and is in fact grounded in decades of neuropsychological research and revolves around the ability of the brain to adapt and change over time, a property of the brain called neuroplasticity. Depending on how different parts of the brain are used, the brain can either shrink or grow. And we're not talking grow in a metaphorical sense. In one study, researchers looked at how rats' brains were influenced by their surroundings. One group did nothing but eat, drink, and sleep. The other group had toys, mazes, and were able to interact with other rats. When the scientists analyzed brains of the two groups, they found that compared to the rats in the empty cages, the rats in the stimulating environment had denser, more interconnected brains. Their brains were physically larger. In another study, researchers looked to London, where all taxi drivers are required to have extensive knowledge of the city's streets. Researchers found that the part of the brain responsible for spatial memory was physically larger in the taxi drivers than the average Londoner. This is because the brain is made up of hundreds of billions of tiny cells called neurons. Each neuron is connected to thousands of other neurons. Every time you learn something new, a new connection is formed. Each time you practice or repeat that thing, the connection is strengthened. Think about it this way. Imagine a nice patch of grass. If you walk across it once, you make some footprints. If you walk over it twice a day for a month, you'll see an indentation. If enough people walk on it for enough time, the pathway will harden and become permanent. This is exactly what happens when you learn something new and reinforce it with practice. A new pathway is being formed and strengthened, resulting in physical growth of the brain. What's more, researchers over the past 30 years have shown that having a growth mindset can improve performance. In one study, middle school students who learned about growth mindset did better over a longer period of time than those who didn't. In another study, students declining math grades were halted and reversed when they learned about and adopted growth mindsets. And one of those students was Billy. When Billy learned about neuroplasticity and growth mindset, he adapted his approach to mimic those of Kylie, Anna, and other successful students, and was able to pass the class and go on to the next level. Which really shouldn't come as a surprise, because with the growth mindset, that wall seems more like a mountain. And it won't always be easy, and success isn't guaranteed. But with the right tools and a little help, anything's possible.